but let's do it. And I got into a room with a therapist and just started crying. And I didn't really know why. I talked to him for a few sessions. The year was over and I moved on. I'm like, you know what, I'm fine. And then in college, freshman year was great. Sophomore year came and I thought I was fine. And my coach says, hey, something's up. Let's get you to meet with a therapist. He gave me her number, her name, told me to reach out, and I just never did. I kind of always thought, like, I'm okay. Like, I'm not doing great, but I'm okay. And then pro hockey came, and I mean, pro is a little different than junior college. I think you're kind of, not that coaches or people don't care, but it's also like you're pro now. You know what to do to take care of yourself. And I just, I didn't take care of myself. And I think slowly things started to deteriorate. I wasn't doing anything outside of the rink. I'd go to the rink, I'd come home, I'd sit on my couch, and I'd just like, what do I do now? And that pretty much led up to meeting the therapist through the NHLPA program. The summer before was like my contract year, and yeah, I mean, I talked about retiring, and I thought I fully was. I went down to my agent's office in Chicago at the start of that summer, and I said, hey, like, I don't want to talk about hockey for a good month. I don't want to hear anything. Just give me time to think about what I'm going to do moving forward. And I took some time. It got time to sign like the qualifying offer, and I was like, I'm not ready. Like, I just can't sign. I'm not ready. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I told him if it's between retiring or signing that offer, like, I'm going to retire. And I signed my retirement sheet, and he was like, are you sure you want to do this? Is this like actually what you want? And I was like, I'm not ready to sign another contract. So yeah, like, that's it. And then throughout the summer, I thought, you know what, like, I signed my retirement form, like, I'm done. I'm going to feel better. And I just didn't. I felt the same. I thought it was going to be a sigh of relief, and I was going to get up in the morning and I was going to feel great. I was going to apply for jobs. Like, I'm a new person. I'm free finally. And I was still miserable. So my agent was also one of the people pushing for me to meet a therapist for forever.
And that's Pete Rutilli, your agent, right?
Pete Rutilli, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was, I met him when I was like 14 at Panera. And he's been like he's really been like a father figure. Like, he's the reason why I'm even playing pro hockey. He's the reason why I'm still playing. And yeah, he's been awesome. He's been incredible. But to get to my therapist, I mean, he's the one that recommended in partnership with Vicky Woosley, who's with the Predators, who recommended like this NHLPA program when there was no chance I was going to report to training camp. I couldn't get myself there. And he put me in that program, and at that point, he pretty much said, like, this is now going to force you to go to therapy, to meet this therapist and to finally figure out what's going on here. And I met Cindy, my therapist, who was in Chicago, and I'm up in Milwaukee still. I was living at home, and I took the train down to meet her about 2 weeks after I entered the program. They're like, let's take your time, let's breathe, let's relax, and when you're ready, let's get into therapy. And I took the train down one day on a Friday just to do just to meet her, like a quick consultation, see what's going on, because she just knew, all right, a hockey player's coming down here, they're in the program, don't really know what's going on, but let's find out. And I head down there, take the train down, I sit in her office, and I'm feeling like stressed, anxious, depressed, but fine. And she's like, all right, what's your name? Spencer. Like, blah, blah, blah. All right, tell me about yourself. And I think I cried for an hour straight. I probably got like 3 words out that whole time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she kept making herself available, right? Like, it was like, normally it's like one session a week later, but that didn't happen here.
No, I think once she sat there in a chair 5 feet across from me and witnessed me crying for an hour straight, I think she realized this guy might need some more help than one meeting a week. So it was a Friday, and she's like, you know what? Why don't you come Saturday, Sunday? Monday, and then let's just keep going. So I think I was down there almost every day for a week or two, probably more than that. And then we were going like 3-4 times a week. We were pretty nonstop until I started to feel some progress. And it was pretty quick. She sat me down and she's like, I'm not here to, like, I know I'm in partnership with like NHLPA, like they reached out, this is their program, but I don't care about hockey. Like, I don't care about you playing hockey. I care about you as a person. Like, we're not even going to talk about it. And at that point, that's when I realized, like, all right, this is great. Because I couldn't, for years, like, I had a rule with my family, no hockey talk. Like, absolutely nothing about hockey away from the rink. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. Like, nothing. Because I get stressed, I get anxious, like, horrible. And as soon as I heard her say that, I could just take a sigh of relief, like, all right, like, we can actually make some progress here, like, figure out what's going on. And she's, like, I can still text her whenever. I could text her right now and she'd get back to me before this podcast was over, for sure. But, like, she was my best friend for months.
Great.
Yeah, she's awesome. And, yeah, I think she really dug deep into my mind, and we figured out what was going on, and I think we're still making some progress there. But like, things I didn't even know were affecting me, things that I didn't know that were like holding me back or causing a lot of distress, we talked about. And what I thought was because of hockey really wasn't. There's a lot of things with my family and things with me personally that were affecting me.
So how would you describe then the work that was done from when you first met with her to when you were ready to get on the ice again in November?
Yeah, so training camp started, I believe, like September 18th. And September 11th, I told Nashville, you know what, I'm going to be down there. I'm going to be at training camp and be there early. And it was the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, and I didn't leave my couch. I was the only one at home, couldn't get down there. And then I think 2 days before, they all realized I wasn't going to make it. And I entered this program, and when I entered this program, like, the first thing she said to me was, you know, we're not going to talk about hockey. And we just talked about my life. Like, we sat down, I cried for an hour the first session, 30 minutes the next session, 15 minutes maybe the third, and we got all the way down to, you know, the occasional tears. Like, she'd always have a tissue box in front of me ready to go just in case. But, you know, it was just, we didn't even talk about like any therapeutic techniques, or like, we just were talking for a good probably week or so. I don't think she really needed to get into anything specific to really get to me right away. It was once I was comfortable being there with her, once I was just done, like, just crying for